Don't worry about the intro. Just go live.
Whoa. Welcome to Much To Do About Nothing presents 6 divisions in 6 weeks, starting with the Northwest Division. How you doing, guys?
I'm doing well. How are you two?
I'm great. Ready to talk some basketball with the guys.
We're a little sore, but
I don't know how ready I am to talk the Northwest Division, but I guess
this is the most exciting division right now. So,
is it? To who?
To the Northwest, of course. So,
Right.
Shout out to the people in the Northwest.
of course. I mean, they were more exciting. I mean, they did one of their teams did just win the title. So.
That is fair.
Credit to them, or one of them. We'll get there, though. All right, let's start from the very beginning. I usually like to do this in alphabetical order from the cities.
Is that what your PowerPoint is set at?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I have in that order. It's the order I like to set it. I go in division, and by division, I go by alphabet. I go cities in alphabetical order. Alpha order.
As long as the PowerPoint is set that way, I don't care. I was
It
just
is
curious.
exactly how it is. Yeah. That's how I set it up, so that's no big. I'm just letting you know if anyone has, I don't know why anyone would care what order I have it in, but yeah.
No, not at all.
But yeah, we'll do that, and then of course the starting lineups and the bench rotation and all that extra stuff. The starters, those are just my projections. I have no idea who actually is going to start. That won't be decided till training camp, and the coaches. This is just who I imagine will start. I'm not sure yet. This is just based on educated guess. That's all it is. All right, so. Let's start it. Oops, sorry. Hey, why isn't it moving? It is frozen. Oh, too fast. All right, here we go. Sorry. Woo, it worked a little smoother last time. Anyway, let's start with the Denver Nuggets. That's the top of it there. So, Denver, good team, right? So let's go with the starters. Who I projected is they're the same starters from last year, aside from one big difference we'll get into in a second. But Jamal Murray, Christian Brown, Cameron Johnson, new addition, Aaron Gordon, Nikola Jokic. Those are the starters. You have some of the reserves, the guys coming off the bench. You have the returning players of Peyton Watson, Julius Strawther, Zeke Naji, Jalen Pickett, Hunter Tyson, De'Aaron Holmes, who was hurt all last year. So this will be technically his rookie year. And the two-way player, Spencer Jones, is coming back. And you have some new additions. They had a decent summer. Bringing in Bruce Brown, they brought him back. Former six-man for the Denver Nuggets is back. Tim Hardaway Jr., Jonas Valanciunas, who there was a debate there for a little bit. Would he come back? I mean, would he play for the Nuggets? But it looks like they worked through that. And their two rookies who they've got into in the two ways to fill out the two ways. They are basically borderline second apron, so they definitely used their money to the max. What do you guys think of the Denver Nuggets, and what do you think about their biggest acquisition being, trading Michael Porter Jr. and Cameron Johnson? Ditch.
I mean, on paper, that should be a benefit. You really need to just keep Jokic happy. I think that's just your biggest thing. Keep Jokic happy, keep Jamal Murray healthy. Those are going to go a long way in success for the Nuggets. We're not going to talk, obviously, about the other teams in their division as of yet, but I don't think they closed the gap, mainly because of age.
Fair.
But, they didn't get necessarily any worse, and the West is still just as much of a logjam as it was last year, as it was the year prior to that. So, realistically, they're in the conversation still, outside of, I think, first. They could be anywhere from 2 to 10 again, and it all depends on health.
That's 100% right. I don't necessarily disagree with that. If anything, I believe they did get better, but it's primarily because I think they strengthened their bench, where their bench was primarily Watson and Strawther and really Naji. And I know they don't really love Naji. I know they used him basically out of necessity. It was between him and DeAndre Jordan a lot last year. So like that, their bench was and Russell Westbrook, who did not return. That was their bench for most of the year. But I thought they did a good job, like adding some veteran artillery there, especially bringing back Bruce Brown, who I know they love. Tim Hardaway Jr., who did pretty good last year in Detroit, and Jonas Valanciunas, who's a solid big man all around in the NBA, as now the backup to Jokic. That was a good pickup. Even though
for sure.
He had kind of low points last year, but whatever. He's I still think he's still good. John, what do you think about Denver?
I think if you're gonna keep telling us that Jokic is
MVP.
always constantly MVP or in the conversation for MVP, these are the moments. These are the moments where you're gonna have to, you have to start. I'm trying to figure out how I'm trying to word this. You're gonna have to start playing better than your team. Now, if obviously injuries and stuff happen, then that's not his fault. But you gotta start elevating this team. That's what separates the good from the greats. You got to be able to elevate your guys. I think adding Cameron Johnson, adding Hardaway, bringing back Bruce, adding Jonas, that helps. I mean, from where they were last year. I mean, you had Michael Porter Jr., who just couldn't seem to stay healthy. I think Cameron Johnson helps you with availability. He can defend. I think you obviously don't get offensively what you lost when Michael Porter Jr. can stay healthy, but I think Cam can be a nice 3-and-D guy consistently for them. I think this team can still be right in the mix. I view it like this. Have you view the Mavericks? I think Denver is better. So if you view the Mavericks as, the Mavericks might be, in the mix, I think the Nuggets are better than them. If you think the Mavericks won't make the playoffs at all, good. I still think the Nuggets are better than them. So I think as long as you got Jokic, I think you always have a chance for this team to be a championship caliber team. It just all depends on whether or not he's able to elevate the rest of his teammates.
Word. Look who joins us. Prime, welcome.
Right on time.
Right on time. Yeah, we were just finishing up here. So we were talking about Denver and now what we think about them and their acquisitions and what we think how they're going to do this coming season. So what do you think about Denver? We just finished up with Jawan. So what does Prime think about the Denver Nuggets?
I think it's going to be another strong team. Looking at what they got coming back. I mean, Jamal Murray, long as he's healthy. I did hear some things possibly that he may have had some type of a nick or a knack over the offseason, but I heard anything too serious. I guess he's fine. I think Jokic is going to be hungry. Aaron Gordon, what type of season Aaron Gordon going to have, man? I think Aaron Gordon had plenty of ups and downs last year. But overall, I think it's going to be strong. Now you look at the new additions to the squad, bringing in a Bruce Brown, to me, is always a win. If you get a guy like Bruce Brown off your bench, we'll see what type of, player we get out of, from Tim Hardaway, play we get out of him. But other than that, I think Denver's going to be strong. I think that's going to be a team that's going to be right there back in the mix that we've seen them in years past.
Yeah, that definitely pencil them there. Definitely easily a playoff team in the West.
Yeah,
for sure.
West is pretty strong, so to have them basically sign them up, they're definitely at least making the playoffs. That's definitely a given. That if anything, in my opinion, they've gotten better. And like you said, as long as they stay healthy.
Yeah,
that's the big thing for sure.
Yeah. Especially for Jamal, man. As long as he's healthy, they could definitely make some noise and get back.
Aaron Gordon, yep.
Compete for that Western title at least.
I will say real quick, Joel, their biggest thing is they always seem to flame out come postseason. So that's gonna need to be their focus of, gaining momentum at the right time to end the year, and then keeping that momentum into the postseason. Because this team isn't our question isn't can they make the playoffs? We know they're good enough to make the playoffs because they usually do. It's can they get back to the mountaintop? And that's where it's going to be very interesting to see where this team is able, what they're able to do and where they're able to go. Is because that's what, because Jokic has been MVP so many goddamn times, to me it's constantly championship or bust. You can't tell me that's a multi-time MVP, but I'm supposed to grade him like it's a second-year player. Like, no.
Yep.
Like, you got to elevate these guys, man. That's what those MVPs are supposed to mean. So,
I will say, to your point about them flaming out towards the end of the year, it does seem to a lot of times be health, right? Like, it feels like towards the latter part of the season, somebody's nicked up, usually Jamal Murray, if we're being honest. But, you know, not always. But it's always, they're never going into the playoffs at 100%. Like, granted, nobody is, but it feels like they're usually limping in a little bit more than most. And I think, to your point of needing to be able to do that, it's staying healthy. And they are, I mean, it's crazy to say that they're getting older as a team. Like, obviously every team is getting older, but for some reason, it just always feels like the Nuggets are one of the older teams in the West.
You know, they are. I mean, they've been good for now a while. And that's what happened. I mean, once they won that title, they were obviously going to have a setback. I mean, not setback, but they were going to definitely go through a low period. They lost Bruce Brown. Their bench took a hit. So that's really where it hurt. That's why I think making the additions they did and bringing back a guy that was super important to them winning that title, Bruce Brown off the bench, that could help. Now, Bruce Brown, I don't know the last time Bruce Brown has been Bruce Brown, but
fair.
But we'll see. Denver Nuggets. This could be it coming back home. Maybe that's the secret ingredient there. But only time go ahead.
If they can get a healthy Valanciunas too, because I think he's had some problems the last 2 seasons. I believe staying on the court, bouncing around between a couple squads, but he's had some issues too. Now they can get him and keep him healthy enough. I don't know about playing 80 games, but I mean I think at this point, 55 to 60 games is probably good. I don't think last year. I don't think he even played. I don't think he played 50 games last year. Maybe 40 games or so.
Let me look. I got it up. He played altogether, technically, because he played for 2 teams. He played altogether about 70. How many of those minutes in those games?
I don't know why
he took a hit.
He played about 12 minutes a game. So it's not like so. I stepped in probably in garbage time a lot of the time. Like to your point, he didn't really play as much.
Not as much as he should have. Because this guy should be your main big off the bench. Washington was trying to fail. So for him, they were trying not to start him.
Right.
So in Sacramento, that was the main reason he got traded to Sacramento, to help them off the bench. And
he didn't really do too much.
I don't know if he was hurt or just they didn't want. I don't know. So I don't know. He kind of had an off year. I'm gonna say he had an off year. This is a guy that could definitely even start on some teams in the NBA.
Makes sense. Yeah.
So, I think he probably was hurt. Looking at it, like playing that few minutes.
Right.
You really
nicked,
yeah.
Yeah. And he almost left for Europe, man. Maybe he's a little frustrated, So he's like, I'm gonna go home. It's like, we'll see. I really want to see Holmes. He was out all last year. Tore his, I think, his ACL in the summer. So didn't get a chance to play. And he's a center. That was a shot blocker. I believe it was what was that team? I forgot what college he went to.
Dayton.
Oh, Dayton. Damn it! I was gonna say it. I had it. Yeah, it was Dayton. I had it on the tip of my tongue. The only reason I know that is because when he was coming out, same college as Obi. I was like, yeah, I remember. But yeah, I liked him coming out of college. I was looking forward to seeing him play, and obviously it didn't work out. So maybe between him, his healthy Day'Ron and Jonas can help Nikola Jokic off the bench. And we'll see, because I do think that Denver is one of the better teams in the West. They're healthy.
Cool. Yeah, I would agree.
All right. Let's move on to the next team on the list. Damn it, I just said it. All right. The Minnesota Timberwolves, another team that should definitely be making the playoffs. So my projected starters are the same as last year. Mike Conley, Anthony Edwards, James McDaniels, Julius Randle, Rudy Gobert. Returning, Naz Reid, Dante DiVincenzo, Terrence Shannon Jr., Jalen Clark, Rob Dillingham, Joe Ingles came back. I was surprised by that, actually. Leonard Miller, Tristan Newton, the two-way from last year, came back. New additions. They just literally recently brought back Bones Highland. Brought back as he was there at one point, like the year before. Johnny Juzang, who was on Utah last year, had got minutes in Utah, but I swear I think everybody got minutes in Utah at one point.
I mean,
And then Joan Berenger, he's the French big man, who raw, but I think he has some upside. We'll see if he gets any burn his rookie year. We'll see. Enrique Freeman, they brought in as a 2A, was in Indiana last year, and Zakarski is a rookie. It's another center. I think it's from Australia. So Minnesota, they took a hit, in my opinion. Even though I do like their team still, they lost Nikhil Alexander-Walker. That hurts because that man was at the very least, if not the sixth man, definitely the seventh man on that team, one of the main guards off the bench. So that hurts. And they didn't really bring in anybody to fill that void. They're kind of like hoping that their young guys can step in, like a Terrence Shannon Jr., maybe a Clark. Dillingham, I know they want more out of him. So I could definitely see them relying on him a little bit, even though I think they probably could have. Maybe that's why they brought in Bones to help with that, or Johnny Juzang. But as of right now, I still think they'll be good. They might need a little bit more off that bench, though. But, they've got Naz Reid, who's a perennial six-man of the year candidate. So that's definitely not. It doesn't hurt. And they got my boy Dante, who's always sniping. So, what do you guys think? Jawan, what do you think?
I still like this team. Didge, I believe, was probably one of the first people that said this last year, and it proved to be remarkably accurate. Going down the stretch of the postseason, Anthony Edwards has to work on the two C words, conditioning, and Randall needs to work on consistency. If you can get his conditioning to remain high, it seems like he fluctuates too much. He also needs to learn how to trust his team more. Watching the last couple games against OKC, where it was just Anthony Edwards jacking up threes from everywhere and bricking, was just like, bruh, like you do have, like Randall was an all-star. Like sometimes I felt like Anthony Edwards maybe either didn't respect that or forgot. But I'm like, you do have help. So, I mean, they showed signs of they're not scared. Like, they didn't play scared against OKC. They just got beaten by a better team. I think that's definitely something that Anthony Edwards can grow from. Julius Randle has now gotten his money. So hopefully he can buckle down and be a consistent contributor in the postseason again. And I do get what you're saying, Joel, about losing who they lost. But as long as they still got Jaden, as long as they still got Naz Reid, I think they're fine. I think their issue is always going to be at some point that C that you got right after Julius Randle is going to need to be figured out, because that's going to start to become more of an anchor than it is a help with Rudy Gobert there, especially at the money that you're paying. So I think this team could essentially be right back where they were, but I think that's the most important thing is you need conditioning to remain high for Anthony and him to be smarter and more of a leader. And Randall's got to be more consistent. Don't shy away. Remind Anthony Edwards that you were a 2-time All-Star before you got there. And I think this team will be just fine.
Can't really argue with most of that. Julius kind of had a low point this year. He did kind of take a step back. New team, new dynamic. Have to fit next to Rudy and sharing with Ant. They're still good. But what do you think, Deja? How do you see Minnesota?
It kind of feels like I was just looking at their season. It feels like I'm talking about the same team as the year before. Obviously, the big loss, but we're coming off of the same thing where, 2 really good playoff series, and then you got to the conference championship and basically fell apart. Like I think they only won one game against Dallas that year. They played them, right?
one game? Was it one? I don't know. I remember it was 2 years ago.
Yeah, it was 2 years ago. So either way, though, they didn't win more than 2. Like it didn't go beyond 6, regardless.
Right.
And towards the end of both of them, to Juwan's point, it felt like Anthony Edwards just kind of was like, I got to play me ball, and I think that's going to be that's where they're going to live and die again this year. It's how much.
Don't get me wrong. And had a hell of a year from 3.
Oh, 100%. Like, and that's the thing. I think that's why he feels so confident that he can do it, because it works, 85% of the time. But that last 15% is always in the conference championship. And so it's at some point I guess you got to kind of switch it up a little bit more. Obviously the losses are going to hurt. I think keeping your starters and Nasri is very beneficial. Obviously, DiVincenzo, I like the addition of Johnny Juzang, and this is, I think, still just coming from how he played at UCLA, because he hasn't shown the flashes of that too much in the league. But that UCLA run, especially that last year, was almost magical. And if he can do that at any point in the league, I think that's just like an unheralded person that they could use. So
Utah liked them a lot, it looked like, for a while, until they didn't.
I mean, Utah liked a lot of people until they didn't. Let's be honest. I think, like Juwan said, they'll probably be right in the mix again. I don't know if I see necessarily a third straight conference finals, but if I remember correctly, I didn't necessarily see a second straight last year going into the season. So who's to say what that means?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if they're done. I do, like I said, I think the bench needs a little more. They need a little more depth, or unless one of these guys takes the next step, like Terrence, maybe he steps up and takes another step. We'll see.
I do want to point out one other thing real quick. The last time Julius Randle got paid, his numbers dropped dramatically the next season.
It did. Unless that was just for the audience. You don't have to tell the people who paid him.
I know, but I do have to bring it up. It's something that we should probably be aware of, just to see what happens as we go into this year.
I mean, to me, he already took a step back last year, so he's got to.
You can't drop again. That'd be crazy.
Well, real quick, before you go, Prime, that's one thing, Didge. I told Joel, I believe he has to stop holding against Jules. Is that his first year, and unfortunately, and that's why I don't know why necessarily Minnesota made the trade. Julius Randle and Anthony Edwards play the exact same basketball. The fact that it worked as long as it did last year is a testament to how good Anthony Edwards is because they're both ball stoppers.
Okay.
Both ball stoppers and ball dominators, right? So it's like, you have to find a way to better complement each other and blend with each other. And I think they'll be right back where they are, but they both have to elevate each other. And that's where you didn't really see it much in the postseason of them elevating each other. It was much more like, Ant, take us to the promised land. And it's like, I've only really ever seen AI do that. So it's like, it's not really.
Well,
a thing
to be fair, everybody on that team knew their fucking role. That's what.
Yeah. I mean, having one dominant player.
Yeah, I get it, but that's because nobody else could do that. Right. In Philly, it was AI and AI alone that could offensively carry that team, and a whole bunch of guys that could defend and rebound and do all the dirty shit. That's how they manage. I miss that team actually. They're pretty good. Prime, what you thinking?
I just think mainly you guys did a good job on this one. I think that mainly it's just about, when they're getting back to the playoffs, do they have enough to get back to the OKC? I'm not convinced that they won't make it back to the conference finals. I think it's gonna be how they manage this lineup. Like when you get down here, like you guys were mentioning, Anthony Edwards and Julius Randle. I remember when Julius first got there, Anthony Edwards was talking about, hey, I'm going to, defer to him, let him do his things, let him be him. I don't think when we got in the playoffs, I don't know if I really saw that. I don't know how sure Anthony Edwards was about letting Julius Randle really be him. He was giving him his space to do what he wanted to do. But Anthony Edwards, to me, seems like there was times in the playoffs when he was just kind of unsure. Do I turn it on now? Should I go ahead and take this over, or should I defer? I think that's going to be a big question there. Mike Conley, do I want to leave him about the same amount of minutes as he played last year? Or do I want to try to find a way with, some of the guys I brought in to maybe lessen those minutes at times? I think all of those things are going to be big questions for them. And of course, there's a couple of losses there that may hurt them, but I just think that if they can get it together to where Julius and Anthony Edwards are on the same page about who should do what, and they still get some balance scoring, throughout the lineup, the starting lineup, as they did last year, even though they had a couple of losses there, I think they'll be fine. I do think there's a chance they could end up back in the conference finals.
They have the talent. They definitely have the talent. The thing is, like you said, if they can another year of gelling together, chemistry.
Alexander's situation, I think that.
And I think them young guys, one of them young guys got to take a next step. I'm not sure which one, but one of them has to. Like Dillingham didn't get enough from Rob last year. I know they like that kid, and if he could take another step, Terrence could take another step. That'll help them a lot. But of course, at the end of the day, it comes down to the stars. So Rudy figure it out. Julius figure it out.
And it'd be great, though. It'd be great, Joel, because like I said, your projected starters there, so there's no Naz Reid in that starting lineup, your projected lineup. I mean, shoot, if I can get 14, 15 points off a bench,
right,
from a player like that, I'm fine with it. I'm definitely fine with that.
You're not.
Naz is one of the best 6 men in the league, so that's a luxury to have that man off the bench. Anyway, that's Minnesota. Definitely going to be one of the top teams in the West. Where we'll see, but we all definitely got to make the playoffs.
For sure.
But yeah.
All right, here comes the big daddies. I think. Let's see. So this team, they're pretty good. I heard. I'm not really sure. This
team
still
being under the first apron after paying.
I don't know if I ever heard of
this year.
God damn, I hate them. Yeah. What did you say, Brian?
I don't think I heard of you guys.
I've never heard of them. Yeah, they're new. They're the relatively youngest team in the league, actually. But the OKC Thunder, the youngest. Are they the youngest team to ever win a title? Is that a thing? I don't know.
Let's see.
Yeah, I think it's them. Then it's the Pistons.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Fuck, man. They did it. They did what I think so many people didn't think was really possible.
It's them than the Blazers, by the way.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Which Blazers?
77. I thought Blazers only had one championship. Do they have more than one?
Fair enough. I didn't even think of that. All right, that's fair.
Man, in my dreams, Brandon Roy got a ring. Leave me alone.
So this team did this with most of the team that they drafted, and stayed ridiculously under the first apron.
I don't know.
They're barely over the tax threshold after paying out.
You are right. I've been watching the Pablo Torre Clippers stuff. Talk to them. Who's the owner?
How much? Shea is now the richest man in the NBA. How much is he making now a year?
Let's see.
At the time, they just paid on his title, and he won MVP last year. So, fuck, man, I forget how much it is. It's a lot. Anyway, well, you guys will look that up. I'm gonna go through the start. So I have the same start lineup as last year. How much is it?
$60 million this year.
Oh my god, a year?
So he broke it down. Average is 68, but 60 this year, 65 next year, 70 and 29, and then 75 and 30.
That is crazy. Good for you, Shea. God damn it. Anyway, for Shea is more or less the same team that won this title. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, Lou Dort, Jalen Williams, or as he likes to be called, J-Dub, Chet Holmgren, Isaiah Hartenstein, you fucking thieves. Returning almost everybody back, Alex Caruso, Kaysen Wallace, Aaron Wiggins, Kenrick Williams, Isaiah Joe, Jalen Williams, AJ Mitchell, Usman Zhang, Nikola Tobic, who was hurt all last year. Talk about luxury, got that guy coming in. Brandon Carlson, on a two-way coming back. And then, of course, they drafted Thomas Schwarber in the first round. Unfortunately, he tore his ACL in the summer. Not to say he would have got minutes, but that sucks. That hurts. Rookie got hurt. Now we won't see him this year. He's going to miss the season. And, of course, they another guy they drafted, I think, in the second round, Brooks Barnheiser. Well, they signed to a two-way. They're still missing a two-way, so they'll probably fill that at some point. But like I said, they're fucking under the tax like crazy. The only reason they went over is because they had to pay Shea. Like that's it. They're ridiculous. They have all the picks in the world. They manage their money well. They have most of the guys. Most of this team are guys they drafted. For the most part, aside from let's say Isaiah, who they signed as a free agent, and Alex Cruz, who they traded for. Everyone else they drafted. They're just this team did it right. Somehow they managed to do something ground up. OKC is not exactly a free agent destination. So they definitely put credit to them and their GM for winning the title as soon as they did with the way they did it. So bravo. Anyway, Prime.
Mm-hmm.
Let me know. What do you think about this new team?
I mean, what did they say about these guys? I mean, like, you just ran it down. They pretty much returning the same squad. A lot of youth there. I guess the big question is going to be how will they handle success? Success that they had. I think they're going to be even. I think they're going to be just as tough this year. Now, does that mean they win 68 games again? I don't know. A lot of good basketball and a lot of staying away from major injuries had a lot to do with that. But I think the fact that they went through the grind the way they did in that championship series is probably what's going to make this team just as good, as not better at the end. Nothing came easy. I think this team this year would probably we'd have more questions about them if that series was too easy last year. And I know that sounds crazy, but if you really think about it, when you're dealing with a young squad that didn't face adversity the whole season pretty much, and then you get in a playoff series against the Eastern Conference team, the Pacers, and the Pacers made them work. I mean, the Pacers made them work. It kind of had them on the edge, and I think when them going through that, plus a lot of the money issues are out of the way right now. You got a clean slate. I think whether or not they win as many games as they won last year, I think when playoff time hits, I think they're going to be even more of a problem for every team in the West. Like, I just really do. Because they're going to know how to face everything.
Yep. And again, another year of chemistry between these guys. These guys are gelling. Young and gelling. They might be dominant for a long time.
You got to think about it, though, because, like, Shea knows who he is. I mean, all these guys, Lou Dort, one of the best defenders out there. But I think if the way things went down served anybody, like, the best, like, maybe take them even to another level, I think it's Jalen Williams, man. Because Jalen Williams, we knew was a baller. Yep. But to watch him in those playoffs and overcome, some of the things that they came through in that season, especially him realizing when he had to take it when things weren't going right. I think Jalen Williams is going to be even more of a problem than he was last year. Yep. He's confident now, bro. Like, for real.
And he's one of those guys that took the next level last year. He made an all-star team. He obviously helped them not just get to the finals, but win the title. I mean, credit to this kid, man. He definitely stepped up and leveled up. So good for him. Dej, what you think about the Thunder?
I mean, they probably win it again. I think to pretty much what you and Prime already said. I was just looking it up. Their only real loss, like other than two-way players, is Dylan Jones got traded. And so it's like this is pretty much the same team. And I think the thing that I forgot, and I don't know if you guys did, Chet only played 32 games last year. Like, granted, obviously he was back in time for the playoffs. Yeah. So, you kind of forget about that.
And Isaiah got hurt too a little bit. They were playing fucking, I think Kendrick at center or some shit. J-Dub was playing. It was crazy. They were small as shit. It was annoying. They all of it.
Right. And I think that's sort of my point, where it's like they did all of this, and they had major injuries, Chet played less than half the season. Like you said, I don't remember how many games Hartenstein was out, but he missed a significant chunk of the season. Yeah. And they still did what they did.
Starts. Check out how many starts Kaysen had. He had like maybe half.
Let me see. I got it. I still have their
probably like 40, at least maybe 40, 30, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, you got to figure. Casey Wallace had 43 starts, so it's like
I told you.
It's they were able to play a lot of people that gave them significant minutes, and especially going into the playoffs, like Prime said, having the adversity in the finals, it only helps. And I don't see a team in the West beating them, and the East. I don't know what's going on in the East right now because of all the injuries. So it's like, who knows what's going to happen coming out of there. It just seems like they're young and primed, ready to win it.
This is the sweet spot for this team. Honestly, it's like this is their this could be the dynasty for them. Like I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but
but it's just, on paper it looks like it.
Yeah, it's like this is the time that if you're gonna take over, this is the time to do it. Juwan, what do you think about OKC?
I'm gonna just go with recent history. I think the last time a team went back to back was Golden State. It's so hard. It's just so hard, right? I mean, look, people had Boston going right back, right? And obviously up until that injury,
right?
Even before the injury, it was looking dicey for them. Then once the injury came, it was like the writing's on the wall. So it has less to do with me thinking this team isn't built for it or prepared for it or ready or good enough for it. It's just recent history has shown that someone rises from the ashes that's not the current NBA champion. So in my head, there are, Didge, to the point you were making, I do think there's things in the Eastern Conference that can give them fits in a finals matchup. And I do think, like, I'll say this, and we'll go more into it whenever we get to them, but I'm not ruling out that a full offseason of LeBron and Luka can't come together and be pure hell for the Western Conference. So I'm like, there's stuff even in the West that if you can just stay healthy. I think there are some roadblocks that they could come across. Because remember, we learned it last year. It just takes the right team at the right moment. And, you get a different turnout than what you expected. So I'm just going off of recent memory, which is, unless you're Golden State with Kevin Durant and Steph Curry, it's really hard to do that back-to-back thing. So that's where I'm at with OKC. But, God damn, do they have a spoil of riches? This is what Philly wanted when they tanked for everything. This is what Philly had to do.
The process they meant to do.
Yeah. This is what happens when you don't keep saying catchy things and instead you just do them.
You actually do it. Yeah. This is making the right trades and the right draft picks.
Right.
Not one-offs. So.
Right.
Look, good for them. We're going to move on to the most dominant team.
The others.
Yeah, the others.
The others of this division.
The A-listers of the Northwest. No offense to anybody that lives in these cities, I promise.
Oh, I'm sure the cities are fine. The teams are just, not great.
They're going through rebuilding, even though we're going to get to it. But what the fuck were you guys thinking? I am very curious where this team is going. I can't wait to get to this. All right, so Portland Trailblazers made some interesting moves this summer. Oh, where's this? The talk of the town. Oh, my God. Yes. All right, so let's get to it. Starters, my projected starters. These can change, obviously. I have Drew Holiday, Shadon Sharp, Deni Avdija, Toumani Camara, Donovan Clement. Those are my projected start. Returning, you got Scoot Anderson, Jeremy Grant, who can easily be a starter. I'd just rather have him come off the bench. Matisse Thybulle, Robert Williams III, Ryan Rupert, French kid, Chris Murray, Duop Reef, Sidi Sissoko, another French kid. New additions. Yes, you're going to hear this correctly. You are not deaf. Damian Lillard is a new addition returning to Portland. Unfortunately, he's coming back injured and will probably not play the rest of the season. But they have him back
for sure out all year.
Yeah, I think he is. And they extended him, did he not? He signed the contract. I think it's not just for this year. Obviously, it's like past this year. I guess the plan is we'll get to that. All right. So Dame's back. Blake Wesley. They brought him in from last year. He was San Antonio. Yang Hansen, the rookie from China, some upside. Like they call him the Chinese the Jokic. We'll see if that actually works out. Caleb Love, rookie, they brought in. It's on a two-way. All right, so Portland, and somehow they're still over the tax threshold. Thanks.
Ow.
I'm kidding. I want to start with Didge, honestly, because Didge knows Dame pretty well. He was on your team, right? So I want to know, coming from your perspective, what do you feel? How do you feel about Portland and their moves?
I don't understand it. Like, for Dame, let's talk about that addition first. Like, for him, it makes sense. Like, he has a year to rehab. That was the big thing that everybody had been talking about during his entire time in Milwaukee, was like, he always has to fly his kids in, or he has to fly like family, and he has nobody to talk to in the city. He's missing home. That was the narrative. Not even a narrative. That was just the life for so long during his tenure here. And looking back at it, it does feel like he just never was fully comfortable. I'm really shocked that he went to Portland. I thought he wanted to go somewhere where, obviously, we knew he probably wasn't playing at all this year, but once he got back, he would have went somewhere that's probably a contender, where, the idea was probably to go west, but I guess maybe none of the LA teams or Golden State or Sacramento weren't calling, because you would have figured he would have went to one of them first. It just seems like Portland's just like, whatever, we'll just take whoever. Because, like, even getting Drew Holiday back, I still don't understand it. Like, it's one of those things where
it's a hell of a backcourt if healthy. But
it is. That's a crazy backcourt if healthy. But I mean, that's also a very old backcourt. Like, that backcourt.
Especially when you have two young guys you're grooming and Scoot and shit.
But to be fair, I guess maybe that's the reason why they got them both back. Like, now you played sort of the NFL quarterback route, where it's like you can sit back and learn from these veterans.
Watch the bets. Yeah.
So maybe they're going that route. I don't know. Portland just seems like they're just like, we just need to have somebody out there, and we'll take what we can get. That's all I get out of them. They're definitely not making the playoffs. This isn't a playoff roster.
This is I don't know, man. You never know. Like this, Dame.
Joel, I will bet you right now. We can do a gentleman's bet right now. They will not make not even the play in. Like,
they didn't make the play in.
They're not sniffing.
Man, there's a good team in here somewhere. Just don't. They gotta release.
Is it?
They gotta get out of Jeremy Grant's contract somehow. Start there. They get out of his contract and make some, switches. And my thing is, I don't know what direction they're going.
I feel like they have pieces, but I don't know if it makes the puzzle.
Yeah, I don't. It's very confusing with the direction they're going. Anyway, Juwan, what do you think about the Trailblazers?
Well, two quick things. I want to remind Didge, this is the same confidence he had when he was shit talking my Pistons pick last year. You see what that got him. And two, the Damian Lillard thing, it makes all the sense in the world, and I disagree with Didge. I don't think that those teams weren't calling. I think the only reason he's back here in Portland is it's the only team that meets his timetable. Think about it. You go to LA, you're wasting another year of LeBron. You go to the Golden State, you're wasting another year of Steph. That's the only place you can go where there is no immediate timetable. You can come back next year, year after that. They'll still be rebuilding. So it's like that's the only.
They ain't got that many years left, fam.
No. That was me exaggerating. I'm just saying, if he comes back next year and that's it, then that's fine. That at least meets a timetable. If you got signed to the Lakers, LeBron might retire after this year. Curry might retire after this year.
Yeah,
you're essentially paying this money to Dame Lillard for him to take Golden State nowhere. For him to maybe be a backseat driver to Luka, like, I don't really see that. So I think for them it was more so if he could play this year, I guarantee you, Golden State would have been figuring out a way to ship Kuminga's ass. A lot of teams would have went after Dame, but I think it's because he was injured.
Well, and that's sort of why they weren't calling though. I don't necessarily think it was like, oh, he just ain't got the skills. It is. I think the injury is why some of these teams weren't calling.
Yeah. So it was just they just didn't meet the timetable.
Like John was saying, Home was calling. timetable. Yeah, you don't have to rush back. You don't have the pressure either.
But home is Oakland, ain't it? Like he could have Golden State would have.
It was when he was a kid. Now as a man, he's been in Portland for how many years now?
He's been in. I figured the family was still in Oakland. I'm not gonna hold you.
Yeah. I mean, yes, they are.
The only reason I don't like the Drew Holiday edition is that I just didn't understand why you traded that young talent for this old talent is really where I was confused. Even if you say it's from a financial standpoint, I kind of just don't understand. Like, it just seemed kind of like a lateral move. But I will say this: if you can get Scoot and Sharp to begin their elevation, this is a team that maybe could be fighting for that play-in. They could. I'm saying, watching them last year, the talent is there. Like
they're good defensively. They have good defense.
It's just, how do you put that talent together?
Yeah.
And we've seen crazier things happen. So I'm just saying,
yeah.
I'm not willing to bet any money on it. Detroit. I was way more.
There are 10 teams in the West better than this roster.
Definitely way more of a conundrum over here.
I'm just saying, with that 1-2 punch of those two guys, I think if they can put that together, I think that.
I like Danny Avdija a lot, and Toumani Camara is a hell of a defender, and it's a surprise in so many ways. Clingan needs a little more polish. He's a little off, but I like him too. Prime. What you think about Portland, man? This is some crazy shit, right?
Man, I don't think nothing about Portland, to be honest with you. And I feel bad because I am a Chauncey Billups guy. I've always loved Chauncey Billups, man. I want better for my guy, man. I just don't know. I mean, they had a 10, 15 game increase over the win total from the previous year, coming into last year. I don't know how much of an increase, if any. I don't know if they win more than 36 games this year. I just don't know, man. But like you guys, it's some players there, backcourt especially, to the small four. I like that. I like that. When you get past that, not that Kamara's a bad. I like him too, but when you get past that, especially at that 5 spot, I think they're going to run into some issues throughout the season. You can't really rely on the health of a couple of the guys that's on the bench. I mean, you got Robert Williams there. How healthy is he? You did mention about, is there a way to get out of Jeremy Grant's contract? I mean, could they do that this year? I don't know. I don't even remember what the numbers are. I just remember when he signed it, that contract was crazy.
Yeah, well, let me take a look at it for you.
And check to me to now. He did miss some games last year, right?
Yeah, he was playing 47 games last year, and he's getting $32 million this year.
So it's a lot of I don't know, Walking Dead. I don't know, call them the Walking Dead, but it's a lot of.
I mean, they paid. It was weird when they paid him last year. I'm like, why?
He's getting 32 this year, 34 next year, and 36 and 27.
Damn. So he's got essentially
what?
Counting 3 seasons this season.
Yeah, at least the last year's a player option actually.
Player option. Okay. Yeah, I just think it's just gonna be just as ugly, Hopefully not uglier than it was last year. I try to remember. So Simons went in the Holiday trade, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. So I was just wondering because I was hearing some stuff already. I know we'll talk about that later, but he might be already teams feeling ups to him. But
already in Boston?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, they've been since they got him. They've been trying.
I didn't hear that. Oh man.
No. Yes.
Joe, can I add a quick thing?
Yeah.
Prime mentioning Chauncey Billups. I think that's where the problem starts. Not saying he's not a good head coach. I'm not saying.
Juwan saying Chauncey Billups should be fired.
Sounds like it.
I think where this team will start to turn things around, because it's obviously going into a youth movement. I think you got to find one of those innovative college coaches, those young college coaches. Bring him along, let him grow and develop with this team, let them grow a new identity. And I think you can start to build something from that. I think that's what they need to do. I think that'd be best for them.
Oh, dang, you really were calling for him to be fired. I was kidding. No, Juwan is really calling for him to be fired.
Don't do my guy like that.
No. This is one of those things where it's like, the longer you let him stay and your roster is like this, and if I'm listening to you guys, they ain't gonna do shit. So it's like I don't know how much longer you want to be here if you know it ain't gonna be shit, right? So it's like
That's fair.
So resign
Or
before
you
you're
can grow
fired.
with
I
the
get
team.
you.
You can grow with the team if they could. Like if let's say they had 30. What'd you say? 15 game improvement over the year before. They improve again, and that
They
shows
not
that
improving
there's
another
progress.
15 games, Joel.
I'm
You
not
know
saying
that.
they are, but let's say it's another 5 games. They didn't get worse. They got
But that
better.
puts them over 40. Yeah.
And like looking at this roster, they get better with this roster. You're like, wow, this is. I mean, maybe it is Chauncey knows what he's doing. You know what I mean? Like,
Maybe they got a plan, man, and maybe Dane believes in that plan down the road. Knowing he can't play anyways. I'm trusting you guys. I'm trusting you guys.
they're grooming Dane to be the coach in the 3 years from now.
There you go. That's the young coach that you were talking about, Juwan.
There you go.
that's just my 2 cents. That's it.
All right. Well, that's all Portland. Anyway, we're gonna move on to the last team in the Northwest Division.
One mess to another.
Ooh, to the team we've all been waiting for, the Utah Jazz. Anyway, let's go over this roster. Let's start with the starters, or at least my projected starters. I got Isaiah Coulier starting. I have Keontae George, Ace Bailey, the rookie, Lauri Markkanen, who had a hell of a summer, Walker Kessler, returning Bryce Sensabaugh had a good year actually off the bench. Kyle Filipowski also had a really good year off the bench. Taylor Hendricks, who got hurt and missed most of the season. Well, we'll see if he comes back strong. Cody Williams, who's been kind of a disappointment thus far. We'll see if he can bounce back. KJ Martin, we'll see if he makes the team. Shvi Mikhailiuk, he was signed to Phil because they needed to spend money. He gets in when he gets in. Oscar Tshiebwe, but he returned on a 2-way. Good for him. I actually do like him. We'll see if anything comes out of that. New additions, just because mostly. Georges Niang, Kyle Anderson, Jusuf Nurkic. Most of these are mostly helping out in other trades. Kevin Love will be bought out. I can't imagine soon, probably before the season starts. Walter Clayton Jr. they drafted. I know they like him a lot. I could see him possibly even sneaking into that starting lineup at some point. We'll see. And John Taj, the rookie who signed the 2-way. Okay, so this team will be fighting for the number 1 pick for sure. Now, will they succeed, unlike last year where they tried so hard and failed again to get the number 1 pick for Cooper Flag? They tanked for Flag and they just were unsuccessful. They didn't suck enough, unfortunately. That's not really the case. The lottery was crazy this year. Screwed everyone. Dallas.
Some may say it was rigged.
Some may say it was rigged. And Dallas got the number 1 pick. I'm not saying it. That was Didge. Anyway, Juwan. Let's start with Juwan. What do you think about the Utah Jazz and the new colors?
Yeah. Fuck all that noise. I'm not doing what I did. Trying to give this team a life raft. Absolutely not. This team, first of all, I knew this team was never gonna be shit when I heard they wanted to trade Walker Kessler, and I'm like, okay, that makes sense. You want to sell off your best pieces, get more assets. When they said I want a number 1 pick in return, I said nah. Like this must be Walker Texas Ranger. Like this, it can't be Walker Kessler. Like Nick, who do you what? Who is Walker Kessler? You think he deserves a number 1 pick? Are you trying to trade him or not? Like that was the most confusing thing. We want him gone, but we want you to overpay for the guy we're telling you we don't want. It's like, what leverage do you think you have? Like, he ain't Jokic.
Right.
I hate this team with all my heart. I swear. I hope it never shines on this side of the earth.
This is a crazy switch from last year.
I had so much hope for this team. I had so much.
I tried to tell you.
Why are they so stupid, Didge? I don't understand.
They're trying to suck. Last year was blatant. They should have gotten fined. That's how fucking blatant it was.
It was bad.
But here's the bad thing, Joel. Here's the bad thing. Remember when Philly was just like, trust the process,
Yeah.
right? Here's the crazy thing. They were getting rookie of the years out of that stupid shit. Utah's just getting is getting nothing. You're sucking just to suck. I don't understand. Like I don't get the game plan here, dog. I'm done. I'm sorry.
It's fine. So I get the frustration. It is very it is mind-boggling. I am very yeah. Well, anyway, Prime, talk to me about Utah, bro.
Man, do I have to? Man, this man is you talk about ugly. I'm trying to find the positives in this. I mean, look at this starting line. I am anxious to see Ace Bailey. I'm anxious to see Ace Bailey. See, after all the offseason, we're coming, all the turmoil and all this about where you want to be and all this to see how this pans out. But this is a crazy team to do it with, though. Like, I mean, your first year, the marketing solid. Kessler solid. He might not have been the guy like Juwan was saying. Everybody was saying he was. What they were trying to get for him, but it's solid. But I look at that. I look at that backcourt, and I'm gonna tell you, to have a young guy like Isaiah Collier, he don't get ate up, bro. Like he's over in the West. He's gonna get taken to school. I think they're gonna have some problems. I believe in that backcourt, especially defending people. If I'm looking for a positive, I guess I might be Niang. I mean, I like Niang. If you're getting a guy can be efficient shooting the ball, can get you right at about 9-10 points a game. I guess I like that. I do like him, but I don't know much else about it. Like I said, you and I thinking the same thing. I don't think Kevin Love's going to be there. I don't think he's going to be there at all. So I don't know, man. It's just a team that's going to have just as many problems they had last year, and I do think that backcourt is really suspect, man.
It is.
I'm telling you, watch Collie. I'm not wishing anything bad on this guy. But what he's going to have to deal with over in the West, it's going to be some problems.
Yeah, I mean, Clayton off the bench, the rookie they got, he ain't any bigger either. But I mean, it's just, and I think that's why I don't think anybody's job is safe except for Lowry.
That's it.
That's it.
Ace Bailey, his job has to be safe.
No, it's not safe.
Number 5 pick, not safe.
Cody was what, 8th, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, shit. He was not even in the rotation half the time last year.
That's fair.
Taylor hasn't been able to stay healthy. Like I said, the bright spots for me last year were Bryce Sensabaugh. He actually looked good. Kyle Filipowski actually played really good. John Collins was good when he played, but they just sat him some games just because. I know I had him in fantasy. I was like, what are you doing? He's fine. Play the man. And he put numbers up when he played. It was annoying. But like they just do. I don't know. They're weird. I mean, they have young talent that they can groom. Obviously, there's something that, like, if Cody Williams could become son, Taylor Hendricks, Filipowski, Sensabaugh, Keontae George was starting at point guard at one point. They put in Collier. I'm not. Maybe they were just trying something different, or they were trying to lose. That could be possible. That was on purpose. I have no idea. I have no idea. I don't like KJ Martin. Let's see if he actually plays. I have no idea if he gets in. I don't even know if he stays on the team. Let's be real. I like you. Not that I like you. I do like some of the pieces, but again, they're just gonna end up probably gonna go half-ass it most of the way, and sit most of the dudes at the end. That's so they can try again for the lottery. And, it's just annoying when you have to go into the season. We've been there. We understand sucking on purpose, and not sucking in the beginning, but sucking and like it's just as a fan base, especially a fan base and a team like Utah who has legacy behind it. They've had some success in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Different teams throughout the last 20 years were good. The Utah Jazz have always had some type of success. Right now, they're kind of in like middling hell, and it's like, well, look, they got new colors, new jerseys, really cool jerseys. The jerseys are good. New colors, mountain basketball, looks great.
They needed
it because them highlighted jerseys was fucking ugly.
Terrible.
Yeah, they were the worst fucking jerseys. Now they're one of the best jerseys in the league. I mean, that's a step up from where we were at. That's the most positive thing I can take is you have great new jerseys and colors. Good shit.
Well, my only thoughts, and I just went back to listen to what I said about the Utah Jazz last year when Juwan was trying to convince me that they could be a lottery or not a play-in team. He I will give him grace. He did it out of compassion. He was saying he just feels sad that some of these players have to play on a poverty franchise. And I told him, well, Jawan, sometimes some franchises just have to be poverty franchises. And that's what I still feel about the Jazz. Some franchises are just destined to be poverty franchises. And right now, that's what it feels like for Utah.
They're in the, like, you're right. They're in the rotation. Now it's their turn. You know?
Right.
That's it. And that's what Danny Ainge wants. Let's be real. He's trying to suck to build up as much equity, and he's gonna sell off Lauri Markkanen at some point. This might be the year. Honestly, he's played so fucking well in the summer. This might be the time to sell high on Lauri.
This squad is like the projects in the mountains. You know what I'm saying? That's what that is.
No, it's fair. I can't really argue with that. It is what it is. They are who they are.
They made Jawan so mad he won't even chime in again. He's that mad.
He's like, fuck this team, bro. It is annoying. They annoyed me this summer just because of the fact that he left. Look, he left. It was over. It doesn't matter. But they annoyed me this summer because they got the new colors and new jerseys, but they wouldn't give me the logo. Like, this is the logo. It is. But I was looking, like the global logo mostly has the logo and like the name on it. But there's no like legit one like that. So I was like, is this it? Is this what it is? Like, I was like, whatever. You guys do what you gotta do. At least the colors look good.
That's the logo they're showing on their website.
I know, but like what I mean by if you look at these, I'm gonna show these. Look, you see all of them have the names on them. You see?
Look, just shout out to them for not doing the typical. Look at like the Timberwolves and the
the circle.
Like, yeah, shout out to them for not doing that. The Timberwolves and the Nuggets one. I hate those type of logos.
I need Thunder to do something too, though. Like, it is time to get new colors and new logo and new jerseys.
No, shout out to them anybody who's not doing the circle with the logo on the inside and looking like a soccer team. I'm good.
Fair. I just think they need new colors at the very least. I'm tired of this. This look is they're boring ass jerseys that. They deserve better than champions.
With the colors. I think, they can change it, but I don't have too much of a problem with the colors. That logo, I think they can do something better.
They can do better for sure. Maybe it's too close.
It's going to get corny. It's going to be like a lightning bolt, and it's just.
It should have been a lightning bolt from the beginning.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't want that. It's going to feel like a created team at that point. I don't know what that is. I have no idea.
Why is there?
I have no idea what that means for Thunder. I have like.
That's supposed to be the sun in the sky. This is crazy.
Is it really supposed to be the sun in the sky? That's crazy for a team called the Thunder. You don't want.
That's what I'm saying. Come on, bro. This look mountain. This is clever. I know it's a circle. Look, these are cool. North Star, Wolf. Say what you want. They're circles, but the logos are not bad.
It's so boring though. Like everything. Yeah, Trailblazers. I have no idea what that's.
But Diz. I agree with you to an extent, but you gotta admit now, there's a lot of those circle ones. We're thinking about selling merchandise, man. Some of those circle logos look really good on the sweatsuits, man. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I'll give you that. Like I do have a Bucks polo that has it, and it's nice, but it's just like I do look at it sometimes. Like
the NBA selling merchandise, man. I'm saying.
I just wanted another logo would be nice. Something a little different than this. Don't get me wrong. This is one of the most recognizable logos in the league is the J-Note, right? Sure.
If anything, they could give the Jazz name back to New Orleans. I'd be happy.
That would be fun. But you know what it is? They did so much winning as Utah Jazz.
I like that. To be honest with you.
It would be cool, but again, there's so much legacy with Utah and the name the Jazz.
But Utah and Jazz,
it's different for the Hornets. Together. Like when they changed it back, you know what I mean? There was no legacy there.
There's Utah. There's no Jazz legacy of Utah.
No, there's no, not anymore. Never was. But my thing is, there's too much legacy in the winning
of the Utah of the team. Utah. I know what you meant.
Team itself,
it's still like there's no one goes to Utah to listen to jazz music.
No, not at all. This is not a jazz capital at all. It's mountain basketball. There should be named Mountaineers or some shit.
What if the hockey team just named them? Take that name.
Oh, the Mammoth.
Oh, never mind. Don't take that name. That's terrible.
The Utah Mammoth.
Never mind.
Yeah. I get used to it. Like Pelicans, we thought that would be bad. Warmed up to
it. I did it. I still don't like
the Islands Pelicans.
It's too many syllables.
There's a lot. It is Pelicans, but
Pels.
Pels, yeah. No one calls them that though. Not really. At least we don't. I don't know down there maybe, but Anyway, this is the Northwest. I'm gonna say, who do you think is the best team in the Northwest? Not these two, obviously. So like the Thunder.
Yeah.
Then I would say between Minnesota and Denver. Denver, I would say Denver, Minnesota. Portland.
I might go
feel like
Minnesota, Denver.
I still like Minnesota too.
I get it. I'm not. I know I wouldn't fight that.
I wouldn't be shocked if it goes the opposite, but
We'll see. We'll see. They gotta get through these big motherfuckers anyway, regardless.
right.
So anyway, that was this week's episode of 6 divisions in 6 weeks, just in time for the beginning of the NBA season. Next week we'll be doing the Pacific Division. I can't wait to get to that. There's definitely a lot to talk about in that division, the LA team specifically. But yeah, thanks guys for coming and give the shout outs. Prime, where can they find you, bro?
Now you can find me, of course, either on Facebook and on YouTube. That is the SBP. That's a Sports Bar podcast. But we do it just about every Sunday around 11 a.m.-ish. And come through. We heavy on that NFL right now, so come through.
Sir, do that. Dids, where can they find you, bro?
You can find me at DidgeD on pretty much any social media site, including Twitch. I've been gaming a lot recently, so come and watch me play whatever game I'm playing at the time. It's not necessarily only just Black Myth Wukong.
I've been seeing a lot of them clips online.
I mean, look, that's probably the most clip-worthy game that I'm playing right now because it frustrates me a lot.
I do love seeing you find new ways to die. It's amazing.
Man, let me tell you.
It's been fun. All right. Juwan, where can they find you?
Same place as you.
That's right. On the internet.
Did Utah just ruin your evening day?
It did.
I was about to say, you can find him wherever the Utah Jazz aren't at.
So it's not in Utah, that's for sure.
No.
Anyway, thanks everybody. I appreciate y'all for watching. And come back next week, please. Thank you and peace.